Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and as I've mentioned in my last couple videos, I'm having sort of a fruit fly issue in my house. Now, this happens frequently with people starting bins because they don't bury their food, or they're not concealing things right, or they're leaving food out, and that happens. So this is something you will probably have to deal with at some point. Now, typically they come in on bananas or other fruit or vegetables. They're very easy to get in a house, and they can be very hard to get rid of. Now, I have been searching for the source of most of my fruit flies. I thought it was my bins, but they don't really look too bad. Maybe a fruit fly here or there, but it's not the swarms that I'm getting down here. So I finally figured it out. It was a styrofoam container I had that had oyster shells in it that my parents gave me. They had saved them after they had oysters and a couple clam and mussel shells, and I put them in the basement, and I thought the container was self-contained. It was closed. I knew it would smell bad when I opened it, so I didn't want to open it in the house. And I also realized that, I was ready to take it out and start cleaning it out and everything to get ready to process these shells. I was going to show you this on how I do this. I get it outside and open it up, and it is loaded with fruit flies. So I finally found the issue and why I was getting so many. Now the problem is that they have made it into my bins, and I need to get them and get rid of them the best way that I can. So I have as you can see behind me here, I've got my black light. And this thing does work, or not black light, sorry. This is my bug zapping light. Looks like a black light. It has a kind of a bluish light to it. And it works really well, but it keeps filling up to the point where it does not it doesn't zap them anymore. And I'm cleaning it out almost daily because of how many fruit flies I'm getting. And I'm still finding them. Like, I have the oysters in another container filled with water, and I'm still finding them in that container. So I actually added dish soap to it just to break the surface tension, and that way they get trapped. And that is happening, but I'm still finding a lot down here. So I know I need to add some more ways to get rid of them. There's a couple solutions that people have mentioned. One of them is fly tape, which does work. I have actually had the traps hanging like right here. I have one hanging down, and they'll get attracted to it and attached to it, and they die. And it works really well. I don't happen to have any, and I've found that they don't save very well. If you don't use them all right away, they just sort of fail, and the next time you go to rip them apart, they don't open or something like that. They become too tacky. So here is a do-it-yourself solution that is very easy. It's inexpensive, and you can keep doing it over and over again. So let me show you what I have here, and I'll show you how to put this together and where you should put it. There's a couple different places you can put it depending on how your bins are set up. So let me show you first the steps to make this homemade fly trap. All right, so here is our simple solution. First off, I've got some apple cider vinegar right here. This is Dawn dish soap, and I have a plastic lid that is very wide. So it's almost as wide as my hand, as you can tell here. And it's not very deep. It's only, maybe an inch deep or so. So you don't need depth. What you need is width. And I found that works a lot better. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our apple cider vinegar. We're going to swish it around just to make sure it's ready to go. We're going to add in just enough to kind of cover the tray. You don't need a whole lot. It shouldn't be like really, really deep. Now this will evaporate, so you do have to kind of watch over it. And then what you want to add, and by the way, this will smell if you don't like the smell of apple cider vinegar, just a drop or two of dish soap. That's going to break this surface tension. So when a fly lands on it, they're dead. They can't get out of it, and they're going to stay in there, and they're going to basically drown to death. So I know it doesn't sound great. It's not the best way to get rid of them, I've found, because now you have this tray that you have to be really careful with. This is why I don't typically use these anymore, but it works. It does work really well. This is a great homemade trap. This is, maybe $5 a bottle or something, and this could be used for, 100 doses probably. And obviously Dawn dish soap, I buy massive containers of it, which is why I have this nice looking bottle that I put it in. And that's really inexpensive too when you're talking maybe $10 for a massive bottle. So you leave this out on either a table right near your bin, and this is all the fruit flies are going to come out and they're going to get attracted to it. Actually, they're already starting to swarm on the bottle over here. And they'll land in here and they're going to get sucked in, and they're not going to be able to get out and they're going to die. Or the other option is you can actually, and I can show you, I think I'm going to show you this here, but you can actually put a piece of cardboard in your bin and lay this down in a bin that has a lot of fruit flies or a fruit fly issue, and as long as it stays upright. So as an example, you know how I use my pizza boxes? I could put it on there. It should remain upright enough where it's not going to spill out, and the fruit flies will come out. They're going to go into here, and they're going to die in here. So those are your options with this. Now, this isn't a foolproof solution. There's a couple times where I've done this before, and the reason why I don't always add these to my bins anymore is I've actually had these spill, and then it makes a huge mess, and the entire thing smells like vinegar. Vinegar is kind of acidic. You then need to add stuff to kind of neutralize it. So it can really hurt your worms if you're spilling this all over the place. You're not very careful, and for that you might want a deeper tray, something that's 4 inches deep or something. Just that way, there's a little bit more room. But this is a very simple trap to make, and if you have any questions about it, please let me know. This is really the only solutions that I'm going to use at this time. As I said, I have the oyster shells that are sitting in a tray, and there is a drop of Dawn dish soap, so I just add that to the water, breaks the surface tension, and they can't get out of there either. So just some options. All right, it has only been a couple days here, but I already see about, let's say, 20 plus dead fruit flies in here. I still have a few more flying around here, but the fly issue is definitely helping to take care of that problem. The only thing I would add as another way to do this actually is also, if you, as you can tell, this is starting to also run out of liquid. It's starting to evaporate into the air, which also will happen. So you need to keep an eye on this. But you can also add a light, some sort of light underneath this, and in a dark room, that's just going to get them to really swarm to these trays and really get caught. So I have kind of a lot of them landing around here, kind of moving around, but they're not necessarily jumping right in here immediately. So it does take time, but it is working. I have this, plus I have the other tray full of oysters that has water and some vinegar in it, and then also a couple drops of dish soap, and that's also working to capture them. So it's a combination thing. So this takes time, but it does work. So as you can see, especially down here in this area, let me see if I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And you can see the bodies in here really starting to pile up. So that's my update on my fruit flies. It is getting better. It still needs a little bit of work. I'm going to continue moving with my bins. I'll hopefully have an update coming for the urban worm bag. I kind of put it off as I didn't want to get any of these fruit flies all of a sudden inhabiting there since it's kind of a closed off system. But we'll see. Hopefully there's none that made it in there when I had it open before. And we'll see how it's going probably in the next update. So hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, please let me know. As I said, this is not my system I created. This is obviously from the internet, and it's just one of the systems that will work to help you capture fruit flies. Another one actually is where you put a piece of plastic over this and you poke little holes. So if I were to zoom out here, you put saran wrap over this, and then you poke holes in it, and they go through the holes, and then they can't get out. That's another version of this trap as well. So there's a lot of different versions. Figure out what works for you and what's easy to create. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.